Armed guard mistaken for store employee. Lady gets arrested. So first and foremost, this is my first time posting to Reddit, so please let me know how I do. Now to the story. So I work as an armed guard for armed truck service. For those of you who don't know, we are responsible for picking up money and checks from other businesses. That is banks, store, restaurants, etc. As part of my job is handling large amounts of cash, I carry a sidearm or handgun for those not into guns in order to protect myself and the money. Where I live you have to have what's called a concealed carry permit to have such firearm outside of work hours, which I have. So I am on my way home and have to stop at the store to pick up dinner for myself. The store I go to has employees that wear a blue polo and tan pants. My uniform is black pants and red polo with company name on it, and as I had just got off work I still have my name badge on and sidearm in its holster on my hip. Cue crazy lady. I'm browsing the freezer aisle and she stops me and starts to ask where Project Z is. She stops dead in her tracks as she sees my gun in its holster, stops talking and fast walks out of the aisle. I just assume she realized I don't work there and left to find someone who does. I go about my business and proceed up to the cashier line. As I'm waiting to get up to checkout, in comes a swarm of about 8 police officers. They come straight to me with crazy lady behind shouting, "That's him. That's the guy with the gun." They point their guns at me and order my hands up. I drop what I have and comply. I state that I work for Company Z and that I have a permit for my weapon. They lower and holster their guns after the commotion and apologizes for the confusion, but said they got a call about a guy walking around the store waving a gun around. I say I'm sorry, but since I have been here my gun has been holstered, never left the holster. They turn to the lady and ask if it's true that I never took my gun out of the holster. She yells that I'm lying and that I can't have a gun in the store anyway. They of course go and check the security footage and see that I did nothing wrong and let me go on about my business and apologize again for the misunderstanding. They then turn around and handcuff the lady who called and told her she is being arrested for misusing the 911 system and inciting panic. Not sure this entirely belongs here and I am open to comments. Edit. Wow, this post has blew up more than expected. Thanks for the awards. Glad I could share my story. For clarity, I am white male but look Hispanic due to the dark skin tone I have year round. I was just being nice. Don't push my patience. So this happened yesterday whilst I was out on my usual weekly food shopping trip. Please note this is my very first time posting on here, and I'm on my mobile, so apologies for format, possible bad grammar and spelling. So a quick bit of info before we begin. I'm a 28-year woman and I use this shop regularly and now recognize a lot of the usual cashier staff. I was also wearing a black hoodie, leather jacket, jeans and Converse. This is important for later. I was at my local supermarket, just doing my thing, listening to my music and getting my items. I spent a good 20-30 minutes gathering the things I needed before heading to the checkout. It was a nice visit thus far and I was in no rush. I headed over to the self-service checkouts. I can get very anxious when I'm out on my own as I have PTSD and BPD and prefer as little human contact as possible. So generally opt for the self-service tills that and I can keep listening to my music without being rude. I get all my items on the belt and wait for the lady ahead of me to finish paying and packing up her items, and I see an elderly gentleman place one single item down behind mine, and this is where we meet our cast. Me obviously, e.g. elderly gent RW, rude woman SW, store worker. I take my headphones out and turn towards e.g. Me, are you just getting the one thing? E.g. yes I am. Me, would you like to go ahead of me? It's not fair on you to wait for me to get through all my things when you only have the one item. E.g. are you sure? Me, of course, please. Insert hand gesture to move ahead of me here. I'm in no rush at all. Now I am usually socially anxious due to my conditions, but I was always taught to respect my elders and enjoy making their day a little easier if I can. I put one headphone back in and I'm happily waiting when I hear the e.g. how do you work this thing towards the self-service till screen? I put my phone away, come around my trolley and offer my help to EG and continue to help him finish his transaction when RW appears behind me. RW, who's left this shopping on the belt? ME, whilst I'm still helping EG, oh sorry that's mine. RW, well what are you doing getting your shopping on the clock? You're here to work not shop. ME, what? At this point I am looking at this woman like WTF. Remember I said I was wearing jeans, leather jacket etc. RW, you shouldn't be doing your shopping on work time. Now my anxiety is starting to flare and I'm getting angry. I just want to run. ME, look lady I don't work here. I just want to get my things and go. Leave me alone. RW, well I saw you helping that man. EG had thanked me and left by this point and I started to put my things through. ME, yes I did. I could see he needed some help and the staff were all busy. Besides what I do is not your business now please leave me alone. RW, well you're going around helping people at the till, so you have to work here. Me, turning to face this woman, look, I was just trying to be nice and help that man with the till. I'm losing my patience and this is the last time I'm going to say leave me alone. She didn't leave me alone FML. RW, but you look like you work here. Now the uniform for this store is green and yellow shirts and green trousers not black leather jackets and jeans. ME, what the foo, seriously? I called over the worker that was keeping an eye on these tills, who I regularly have a chat with when I come in. SW, hello there how can I? RW, you need to have words with this worker she has been very rude to me. SW, looking at me, then at the woman, I'm sorry miss but she doesn't work here. RW, but, she was helping. SW, just because she was helping someone, it doesn't make her a member of staff. ME, thank you SW, turning to RW with a big grin on my face, see I don't work here now leave me the F alone. RW's face was a mix of anger, shock and confusion, absolutely priceless. I left with my shopping with a big smile and nodded towards the awesome SW who came to my rescue. Thanks awesome guy. Sorry that was so long, the whole interaction only lasted 5-10 minutes lol. I work on Wall Street, bitch. This happened earlier this evening and I'm still laughing about it. I, F20, was with my friend, F21, at the grocery store earlier this evening after a nice dinner. I was dressed up for this, which is important. She wanted to pick up some wine before we headed back to my house, and I wanted some chips so I went into that aisle while she went to talk to the wine display person for Rex. I was looking over things and deciding if I wanted Cheetos or salt and vinegar chips when I hear a commotion down the aisle. I glance over and see this old lady screaming at this hot guy in a suit. I couldn't even really tell what she was freaking out about but then the guy suddenly goes for the last GN time. I don't work here, I work on Wall Street, bitch I snorted so loudly I had to cover my mouth. Something about the hot guy's voice and that line was so funny. I'm usually one to get fo and mind my own business when something like this happens and normally I would walk away quickly. But I used to work in this grocery store and I remembered a story I read on here once where someone pretended to be a manager to help someone out so I thought I'd give it a go. I walk over and say excuse me ma'am, I'm one of the managers. What seems to be the problem here? I think my nice outfit helped, even though the managers wear the same uniforms as the cashiers and cleaning staff and everyone else at this store lol. The lady started ranting about how the dude wouldn't help her grab something on one of the higher shelves and he should be fired for being rude so I say no problem, I'll take care of it. She seems satisfied with this and as the dude opens his mouth to protest I turn so she can't see me and wink at him. I say let's discuss this in my office young man, and we walk away from the old bat with a smug grin on her face. We walk a couple of aisles over and I burst out laughing. He laughs and asks if I'm actually a manager and I say I'm only 20 and I worked here in high school and just rolled with it because I know how crazy customers can be and I thought I'd get away with it because I'm dressed up. He tells me he is just in town for a meeting and was stopping to get snacks before heading back to his hotel. He thanks me for the help and asks for my number to take me out to say thanks if I ever find myself in New York. I oblige and I am currently awaiting his text call lol. Best part is when my friend came back and we were checking out in self-scan, the old lady was up in the front going through a cashier's line and looked at me so confused. I stuck my tongue out at her and we left lol. She was dumb enough to think an average college kid was a manager. My friend was screaming laughing when I told her what happened. I was so caught up in the excitement I forgot to buy anything. Moral of the story, help out hot strangers. TLDR, I help out a hot Wall Street worked being accosted by old lady in the grocery store I worked at in HS by pretending to be a manager.